Welcome to my channel, Stories Beyond the Porsche.
Look, I'm not the kind of guy who believes in fate or whatever, but that Tuesday afternoon, that changed everything. I was under a Honda Civic in the parking lot of Maple Grove Apartments, my hands covered in grease, when I heard heels clicking fast on the pavement. Real fast. Like someone was late for something important. "Excuse me! Hey, excuse me!" I rolled out from under the car. And there she was. This girl in a blue dress that probably cost more than my entire toolbox, her dark hair half up and half falling down like she'd been running her fingers through it all day. She looked stressed. Really stressed. "You work on cars?" she asked, barely letting me stand up. "Yeah, I'm a mechanic at Davidson's down on 5th Street, I said, wiping my hands on my jeans, even though it didn't help much. What's wrong?" She pointed at a silver Mazda 3 spaces down. "That's mine. It won't start. I have this thing in like 40 minutes across town, and I really can't be late." The way she said it, I could tell this wasn't just anything. Her hands were shaking a little when she brushed her hair back. "Let me take a look," I said. Her name was Violet. She told me while I popped her hood and started checking connections. Violet Chen. She worked at some marketing firm downtown, and apparently today was a big deal because she had a blind date. "My friend set it up," she explained, standing next to me while I worked. "She's been bugging me for months about meeting this guy. Says we're perfect for each other. I finally gave in, and now my stupid car decides to die." I tested the battery. Dead as anything. "When's the last time you replaced this?" I asked. She bit her lip. "Never. I bought the car used 2 years ago." "There's your problem." I stood up and looked at her. She had these eyes that were doing this thing where they kept darting between me and her phone. "Your battery's completely gone. You need a jump at minimum, but honestly, you should replace it." "Can you jump it?" Her voice went up a little, desperate. "I can, but it might die again on you. How far across town is this date?" 20 minutes, maybe 25 with traffic." I thought about it. My truck had jumper cables. I could get her started, but if that battery died while she was driving, she'd be stranded. Or worse, stuck at some restaurant with a dead car and a blind date going south. "Look," I said, "I can jump it, but I'm telling you right now, you might not make it there and back. You really want to risk that?" She checked her phone again. Her whole face just crumpled a little. "I don't have time to call an Uber. Traffic's insane right now, and my friend is going to kill me if I cancel." Something about the way she said it made me feel bad for her. Like, really bad. Here was this girl all dressed up, probably spent an hour getting ready, and her car was betraying her at the worst possible moment. "Where's the date?" I asked. "Rosewood Grill. You know it?" I knew it. Fancy place near the university. White tablecloths, expensive wine. The whole deal. "I'll drive you," I heard myself say. She blinked. "What?" "I'll drive you. I live in this complex too, Unit 2B. My truck's right there." I pointed at my beat-up Ford with the toolbox in the back. "It's not pretty, but it runs. I'll get you there on time." Violet stared at me like I'd just offered her a kidney. "You don't have to do that." "I know, but your battery's dead. You're stressed. And honestly, I was just killing time anyway. My shift doesn't start till 6. That was half true. I was supposed to go grocery shopping, but that could wait. She looked at her phone again, then at my truck, then at me. I probably looked like a mess. Grease on my shirt, my hair doing that thing where it sticks up weird after I've been lying down. But she smiled. Just a little. "Okay," she said. "Okay, yes. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much." The drive over was weird in the best way. She sat in my passenger seat, fixing her makeup in the mirror, apologizing every 2 seconds for the inconvenience, even though I kept telling her it was fine. But she smelled like something floral and expensive, which was a nice change from the usual oil and gasoline smell in my truck. "So what's this guy like?" I asked, mostly to fill the silence. "I don't know," she admitted. "My friend says he's great. Works in finance, went to some good school, likes hiking or something. She showed me his picture and he seemed nice." "Seemed nice," I repeated. "That's not exactly a ringing endorsement." She laughed. It was a good laugh, the kind that made her whole face light up. "Yeah, well, I haven't dated in a while. My last boyfriend was kind of a disaster, so I'm trying to keep my expectations low." "Smart," I said. We hit a red light, and she turned to look at me. Really look at me. "What about you? Are you seeing anyone?" "Me? Nah, work keeps me busy. Plus, I'm not really the dating app type." "What type are you?" I shrugged. "The type who meets people accidentally, I guess. Like in parking lots when their cars break down." She laughed again, and I felt something weird happen in my chest, like a little flip. We got to Rosewood Grill with 7 minutes to spare. I pulled up to the front entrance and put the truck in park. "You're a lifesaver," Violet said, grabbing her purse. "Seriously, I owe you big time." "Don't worry about it." She had her hand on the door handle, but she didn't get out right away. Instead, she just sat there, looking at the restaurant entrance, then back at me. "Can I ask you something weird?" she said. "Sure. Do you think this is a bad idea? The blind date thing?" I didn't know what to say to that. Part of me wanted to tell her, yeah, it seemed like a bad idea. And because some guy in finance who liked hiking probably didn't deserve to have dinner with someone like her. But that was stupid. I didn't even know her. I think I said slowly, "You should go in there and see for yourself. Worst case, free dinner, right?" She smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. "Right, free dinner." Then she opened the door and stepped out. I watched her walk toward the entrance, her heels clicking on the sidewalk, and I was about to drive away when she turned around. She walked back to my window. "Hey," she said, leaning down. "If this goes badly, can I text you? For a ride back?" "Yeah, of course." I grabbed the old receipt from my cup holder and wrote my number on it. "Here." She took it, folded it carefully, and put it in her purse. Then she did something I wasn't expecting. So she leaned in through the window and kissed me on the cheek. "Thank you, really," she whispered. And then she was gone, disappearing through the glass doors of Rosewood Grill. I sat there in my truck for a full minute, my heart doing this stupid hammering thing, before I finally drove away. My phone buzzed 43 minutes later. The text just said, "Help," with 3 crying, laughing emojis. I was in the cereal aisle at Trader Joe's when it came through, and I literally almost dropped the box of Cheerios I was holding. My first thought was maybe the guy turned out to be a creep or something bad happened, but those emojis seemed like she was okay, just maybe not having the best time. I texted back, "You good? Need a ride?" 3 dots appeared immediately. "Yes, please. This is a disaster. I'm hiding in the bathroom." I didn't even put the Cheerios in my cart, just left it in the aisle and headed for the exit. The drive back to Rosewood Grill took forever, because of course now traffic decided to be terrible, and the whole time I kept wondering what went wrong. Maybe the guy was boring, or rude, or maybe he showed up wearing a fedora or something equally bad. When I got there, I texted her that I was out front. She came out about 2 minutes later, walking fast, and when she got in the truck, she just covered her face with her hands. "That bad?" I asked. "Worse." Her voice was muffled behind her hands. "He spent 20 minutes talking about his crypto portfolio. 20 minutes. Then he asked if I wanted to join his downline for some protein shake pyramid scheme." I tried not to laugh. I really did. But it came out anyway. "It's not funny," she said. But she was laughing too now. He also pronounced it espresso and told me I'd be prettier if I smiled more. Okay, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad? It was horrible. And the worst part is my friend is going to ask me how it went, and I have to tell her that her perfect match for me tried to recruit me into selling diet shakes. She slumped back in the seat, and I noticed she looked different than before. Her hair was messier, like she'd been running her hands through it more, and she'd wiped off most of her lipstick. Somehow she looked better. This way. More real. "You hungry?" I asked. "Oh, actually hungry, I mean. Did you even get to eat?" "We ordered appetizers, but I left before they came. I couldn't take another second of hearing about blockchain. There's a good taco place near here. Nothing fancy, but the food's solid." She turned to look at me. "You don't have to do that. You've already done enough." "I know I don't have to. I'm asking if you want tacos." She smiled. A real one this time. "Yeah, okay. Tacos sound perfect." Roberto's taco shop was basically a hole in the wall on the corner of 5th and Magnolia. Plastic chairs, paper plates, salsa that could burn your tongue off if you weren't careful. Violet looked totally out of place in her blue dress, sitting across from me at the wobbly table, but she didn't seem to care. "Oh my God," she said, after her first bite of a carnitas taco. "This is so good." "Right? I come here like twice a week." We ate and talked, and it felt easy in a way that kind of surprised me. She told me about her job, how she basically made social media posts for companies that sold things like organic dog food and sustainable yoga mats. I told her about the shop, about this one time a lady brought in her car because it was making a weird noise, and it turned out to be her phone vibrating in the cup holder. She laughed so hard at that story, she almost choked on her Sprite. "So you fix cars all day and rescue girls from bad blind dates at night?" she asked. Just added that second part to my resume today, actually. She was picking at the edges of her paper plate, shredding it into little pieces. A nervous habit, maybe. "Can I tell you something? I almost canceled. The date, I mean. Even before my car died. I was thinking of making up an excuse. Why didn't you? Because my friend was so excited about it. And because I thought maybe I should try, you know? Put myself out there, or whatever." She looked up at me. "But the whole drive there, the whole time I was fixing my makeup in your truck, I just kept thinking how I'd rather be doing literally anything else. Even getting a root canal? Even that." I wiped the hot sauce off my hands with a napkin. "For what it's worth, that guy's an idiot. The crypto thing alone would have done it for me." "Yeah?" She was doing this thing where she tucked her hair behind her ear, and I noticed a small scar near her eyebrow, probably from when she was a kid. "What would have been the deal breaker for you?" "Espresso," I said. Immediately. Can't trust someone who says espresso. She laughed again, and something shifted. The air felt different. Heavier, maybe, but in a good way. "Hey," she said quietly. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure. Why'd you help me today? You don't even know me." I thought about it. Really thought about it. "Honestly, you looked like you needed someone to. And I don't know. Something told me I should." She didn't say anything for a second, just looked at me with those eyes that had been stressed and worried earlier, but now seemed softer. Then she reached across the table and took my hand. Part 3. Her hand was warm and smaller than mine, and for a second I forgot how to breathe properly. We just sat there like that, her fingers wrapped around mine on a sticky taco shop table, and I couldn't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. This is gonna sound crazy," she said, not letting go. "But this is the best non-date I've ever been on." "Non-date?" I raised an eyebrow. "Is that what we're calling this?" She bit her lip, trying not to smile. I don't know what to call it. You saved me twice in one night. That's gotta count for something. 3 times if you include me not judging you for getting extra sour cream. Hey, the sour cream was necessary. She squeezed my hand a little. But seriously, thank you for all of it. Most people would have just jumped my car and left. Yeah, well, I'm not most people. I'm starting to see that. We left Roberto's around 8:30, and I drove her back to Maple Grove. The whole ride she had her window down, her hair blowing everywhere, and she was telling me about this trip she took to Colorado last year, where she got lost hiking and ended up having to be guided back by a random golden retriever that just appeared out of nowhere. You're making that up, I said. I swear I'm not. The dog's name was Biscuit, and he literally led me back to the trailhead. His owner was waiting there, and she said he does that sometimes, just finds lost hikers. That's the most unrealistic thing I've ever heard, says the guy who just happened to be under a car right when I needed help. She had a point there. When we pulled into the parking lot, I stopped near her dead Mazda. It looked sad, just sitting there in the dark. I can come by tomorrow morning before work, I said. Bring a new battery, get you fixed up properly. How much is that going to cost me? For you? Just the battery. I'll install it for free. She turned in her seat to face me. You can't keep doing nice things for me. I'm going to start feeling like I owe you something. You don't owe me anything. Then let me buy you dinner. A real one. Not tacos in a parking lot. Although, honestly, the tacos were pretty great. My heart was doing that stupid hammering thing again. You asking me out, Violet? Yeah, she said, and her voice was different now. Softer, but more sure. Yeah, I think I am. Is that okay? I looked at her, really looked at her, sitting in my beat-up truck in her fancy blue dress with taco sauce on her fingers and her hair a mess. And I thought about how this whole day had been completely unplanned. How I was just supposed to fix my neighbor's car and go grocery shopping, and instead I ended up here. Well, that's more than okay, I said. She smiled so big I could see the little gap between her front teeth I hadn't noticed before. Then she leaned over the center console and kissed me. Not on the cheek this time. A real kiss that tasted like lime and hot sauce and made my brain go completely blank for a second. When she pulled back, she looked just as surprised as I felt. Sorry, she whispered. Was that too much? No, I managed to say. That was pretty much perfect. She kissed me again, longer this time, and I forgot about her dead battery and her terrible blind date and everything else except the fact that her hand was on my face and she smelled like flowers, and this was really happening. We eventually said goodnight, but not before she made me promise to text her when I got upstairs to my apartment. And then she made me promise again about the battery tomorrow. Then she kissed me one more time through the truck window before finally heading to her own place. I sat in my truck for probably 10 minutes after she left, just trying to process everything. My phone buzzed. Thank you for tonight. Best worst blind date ever. I texted back. So, about that dinner you owe me. Friday night? I know a place. No crypto bros allowed. It's a date. A real one this time, she sent with a heart emoji. I went to bed that night thinking about how I almost didn't roll out from under that Civic, how I almost just told her to call a tow truck, how different everything would be if I had. But I didn't. I helped her, and she kissed me in a taco shop parking lot. Yeah, maybe I believe in fate now. Just a little bit. 3 months later, her Mazda's running perfect, and we still go to Roberto's every Tuesday.